Welcome back to the group chat. I'm your host, Charlie Wilson, and of course, Archie, my brother, is with me in studio as always. And the green jacket, Rory gets a double back-to-back for the first time since Tiger in 02 joins an elite list. But it was Sergio Garcia who caught my eye on the second hole of the fourth round with an all-time blow-up, having to play the rest of the round with a 3-wood. Off the deck, Archie.
Yeah, and speaking of taking the headlines, Carlos Olberg should have taken more of the headlines in the New Zealand sport media, winning the light heavyweight championship against Yuri Prohaska.
Brilliant.
With a torn ACL and a left hook of doom.
Shot Kai for calling that too. Let's go.
Outstanding call. Look at the Hurricanes versus Chiefs.
Game of the week, baby.
The biggest game of the Super Rugby season, which seems like any Hurricanes game that's going to keep rolling will become. And then looking at a potential New South Wales side for the State of Origin starting up in almost a month, or is it less than a month?
Man, that comes around quick, Origin. Holy. And I'll tell you what, I'll tell you my perks. I'm not too unhappy with it. Then we get into the Punters Club, of course. No big bets. If that's what you're looking out for this week, step up your game, Betcha Punters. But Archie and I did run through a couple punts that we like the look of for the weekend. Let's get into it. Welcome back to the group chat.
Nathan Marshall with the Crusaders. Scott Robinson. Scott Robinson.
Close. Rep straight off.
Conor McGregor. Israel Adesanya. John Jones. GSP. Anderson Silva, bro.
So Rory goes back-to-back at the Masters. He got the monkey off his back winning it last year. Goes 2025, 2026 Masters champion, joining the likes of Jack Nicklaus, Tiger Woods as a couple of the only to ever go back-to-back. Masters Monday. What a showdown, the finish. Oof, drama.
Yeah, it kind of seemed like no one wanted to win it in a way. I mean, there was all the opportunity in the world for the people around Rory. Scheffler was making a late push.
Oh, I didn't like Scheffler pushing up the leaderboard, man.
That you look back at now, maybe on 17, that he might have missed by half a centimetre. And if that goes in relative to how Rory finished, it would have been a playoff, I believe.
Yeah, another playoff.
Who was it? Cam Young never really fired a shot down the stretch to put pressure on Rory.
Nah, Rosie fell off.
And Rosie did exactly the opposite of what he normally does. Normally he comes in with a late surge to put pressure on, but he came in early in the day, took the lead briefly, and then fell off.
Yeah.
And just kind of tapered out.
Well, Rory started the day 2 over as well, and he fell back to 9 under par, tied for second or something, and it looked like it could have been anyone else's for the taking. Rory wasn't going to be able to get it done, but stormed back, and I think he said going into his last hole, because he needed bogey to win, bogey at worst to win, and he goes, right, I just need to make 4 good swings here, and he made 1 good swing. He said he never does it the easy way, old Rory, but he's got 2 green jackets.
Yeah.
I saw a Nike ad about the Masters, and it was Rory. It's like the best golfers in the world. They don't just want a green jacket; they want the next one. Yeah, I thought that was pretty elite.
And I mean, it kind of goes against what he mentioned, saying that he's happy with the one and he's going to play like he's already a Masters champion and not too worried. But I suppose that's a good way to play golf. You don't want to get too wound up about things. So playing with the monkey off his back probably helped him down the stretch there.
And he said it's been like his home course recently as well. He skipped down the last 2 PGA Tour events, and he's been having breakfast with his daughter, getting on a PJ, flying up to Augusta, playing it, fly back home. Yeah, so it's the only course he's played for the last month. So no surprise. And I saw a couple fans angry that he had the advantage to be able to do that, and he's had this advantage over every other player at the Masters. But
does every winner get that opportunity?
I'd imagine so.
Yeah, can you just go play whenever you want if you're the previous
I think you have to be hosted by a member still. So you become an honorary member, but I think you have to be hosted by a legit member. And I mean, who isn't jumping at the opportunity to play
with Rory? And I'm sure that potentially, if any of these high-profile names, Tiger Woods in the past, or Scotty, or someone like Cam Young, or someone like that, if they wanted to put, the rest of the tour aside and just focus on the Masters, that would be more than welcome to have them come play. So
I think so. I think the frustrating part for fans was that he wasn't competing in these other 2, Houston and whatever the other one was before Houston, PGA events, and he just said, well, I was resting my body, had my eyes focused on the Masters. He notoriously doesn't like those events anyway. Like he doesn't go well at them, so
and I
skip
mean,
out.
everyone would have remembered Rory and his career. Say he never won a Masters. No one would remember him winning that Houston PGA tournament. Right. And it's all about the majors in golf, especially for the ones that are going for historic legacies. So it makes all the sense in the world.
So all eyes were obviously on Rory coming down on the fourth day at Augusta National. But earlier on the second tee box, Sergio Garcia gave his driver a good go, couple whacks into the tee box and then into the actual tee box as well, and received the first ever conduct warning at Augusta.
Interesting. Yeah, and I watched the clip. You mentioned it to me today, and I watched the clip back, and I couldn't quite understand why he was angry. Now, I didn't see where the ball ended up. I just saw the shot tracer, but it looked like it was going down the middle with a slight baby draw, just heading down the middle of the fairway.
He's a fiery lad, though, Sergio Garcia. I couldn't
understand where the angle was coming from. I didn't see where the ball ended up. Potentially, that's not how you want to play the hole. But down the middle with a little baby draw tends to be pretty handy.
I mean, you and I would take that.
Yeah.
If we're breaking a driver over that, there's something wrong. However, he was playing with a $1.3 million watch on his wrist. He doesn't care. He's on Live Golf, which you could probably get away with on Live Golf, snapping your driver, and they'll probably hand you another. Yeah, it would be, actually. The fans would love it.
Yeah.
But no, receives the first code of conduct warning at Augusta. I think that's a new thing as well anyway. So
it's embarrassing.
It is. But there are a couple moments, actually. I think Bobby McIntyre was pulling the finger at a Patreon as well. The course Augusta can make you frustrated at the best of times.
Yeah, absolutely.
Garcia, back in his rookie year as well, actually threw his shoe into the crowd at frustration as well. So he's
Masters.
Not at the Masters, just at a different
He's
golf
notorious
event,
for it, isn't he? He's a notorious hothead.
So it got me thinking about some of the biggest sporting meltdowns I've seen, and a couple spring to mind, particularly tennis. There are some bad ones. I've got 3 clips here that I'll show you. The first one being tennis, and I could have chosen any tennis clip really, because
it's not Nick Kyrgios, is it?
It's not Nick Kyrgios, and it's not Medvedev. It's not Novak.
Is it old school?
Nah, it's Alexander Bobic, actually. Okay. And I'll show you why. So we go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 whacks. 5. Yeah. Listen to the commentary.
Well, the good news is he's got plenty of other rackets.
Great news. Great news.
Go again.
Well, that's going to get the treatment as well. 3, 4.
Does he go again?
Okay.
Bang!
Now what happened in the limit?
Well, this is getting out of hand now.
Does he go again?
No disrespect to Yonex, but they're not the greatest racket anyway. So
I think that gives us a
easy to break.
Indication of where his mindset is at right now.
Plenty of rackets there.
Yeah.
And he goes through, 3 of them?
3 rackets, and he had another 7 to spare. But Yonex, whatever.
4 whacks each, okay? And then we're going to go to this one, was more recently, Cameron Menzies at the PWC, or PDC, whatever it's called, Darts Championship.
Yep.
And he'd missed double one for the match, opening up the match for his opponent, who steps in and he takes it out. So there's the fireworks going. That's got to hurt. Burn the fire. Uppercuts to the table. Have you seen this angle?
I have not.
And then, hang on.
What's his hand look like?
I think it shows you. Oh, maybe not this one. It was all bloodied up and everything.
Oh, I bet. The fireworks are going to be pretty hot.
I didn't even know you could do that.
That's obscene. That's pain tolerance at its finest.
And then bang, bang. 3 jabs to the table.
But Olberg-esque to those jabs.
Yeah. And then shakes his partner's hand, or,
Certainly not with his right hand, though.
No. Well, that was all bloodied, and I think he'd realised it after, but whew.
That's a huge injury for a darts thrower. If you're right-handed, you're done for a month or 2. You might never come back the same.
I'll tell you what, you got to be doing something wrong to get injured as a darts player. I was looking into some of the darts recently with Luke Littler's drama, seeing how long he could go for at his ripe age of whatever he is, 18 or 19. Phil the Power Taylor only retired at the age of 64 due to injury.
So it's going to be 50 years potentially?
Well, it could be 50 years of Luke the Nuke reigning.
Dominating the world's darts thing. So every December to January, you're going to be able to settle down.
Watch Luke the Nuke.
Watch Luke Littler. Jeez.
Yeah. And then one more, there are some good baseball ones as well, but this one from Kyle Schwarber. He's obviously had a frustrating day at the mound or at the plate and not happy with the umpire's call here.
Here it comes.
Yeah, I've seen this one.
And he just keeps going. You've missed outside, you've missed inside, you've missed at the top, everywhere.
I mean, that's worth it. He's obviously making a point here. I wonder what the fine was after that.
Oh, it would be big. He's thrown out of the game straight away.
Bad call from the umpire, though.
Terrible.
Clearly a ball.
So now, I can't remember what year this was from.
But they've got challenges.
But now they've got the challenges. So instead of throwing your helmet and throwing your bat around, you just
tap your head and
maybe
flip the bird to the umpire on your way to the plate.
Oh, yeah. And I'll tell you what, baseball fans are loving the challenges too.
Yeah, it's good.
It's very good.
Because umpires, man, they could be corrupt, I reckon.
Whew. They some of the calls they make are terrible.
It's obscene.
It's actually a joke. And some of the big calls as well in the big moments. Oh, my goodness, when there's a strike or it's a ball and they just get it completely wrong. Nice that the players have some power now to challenge.
Yeah, it made sense for a long time. Specifically, they've had the technology to show where the ball ended up ever since I've been watching baseball or been able to watch baseball, which is, 10 years or so. You've seen baseball on the screen and they've had that square, the strike zone.
Yeah. Be interesting to see what your diehard fans think of the challenge, because I'm not sure how accurate it is, but I mean they're getting some of the strike or ball calls down to like
tennis,
a millimeter.
Yeah, like the tennis line judge.
Oh, I'd love to know what that Alexander Borbich happened actually when he smashed those 3 rackets. There are some honking tennis ones out there. I thought we'd get into the proper news then before we get into our group chat game of the week, and obviously the big one from the weekend, the Black Jag, Carlos Olberg. Light heavyweight title, gets it done on one leg, knocking out Yuri Prohaska at the end of round 1.
Now, you say it's the big one, and I fully agree, but I do have a bit of a bone to pick. And we saw it happen with Izzy when he was on his tear. But the lack of attention that this gets in New Zealand media when people are winning world championships, and I was looking at it today, it rivals the NBA in viewership.
The UFC.
Yeah, in America. So not quite the NFL, that's still the premier sports league over there, but UFC is right up there with NBA and very much clears NHL. So it's huge. And globally, I mean, you'd expect more Kiwis watch UFC than a lot of our local codes that are on.
It's a growing sport, like massively popular across the globe now.
And I don't get it. I mean, Joseph Parker boxing, he got a lot of media attention. Is it because it's a fighting code that they don't want to? But that doesn't make sense because Joseph Parker was all over the news,
and Izzy was all over the news. I think
was he though?
Well, he was. I think because he was so good and he had to be good for a long time. Where Carlos, I don't know. I think a lot of Kiwis as well just didn't. They're almost scarred or like don't have the faith that one of our own can be this good. Like you talk around, we asked it at some of the races at Cambridge on Friday, and people like Yuri, man, he's a warrior, he's chaotic, he's got the power, but it's like Carlos, like Kai told us, Carlos is the power, his left hook, and he's a sniper, he's smart. He's on a 10-fight winning streak in the UFC. That doesn't come easy.
No. And it's a great story. He's now 35, so he's not a spring chicken. You know, he's worked a long time to get to this position. He takes the most of an opportunity that was stripped of him just about by his ACL going or whatever it was in his knee. So it was almost over before it even started for him, but still managed to pull off, I'd say, a huge upset. I don't know what the lines would have been live when his knee blew out. But
live? Yeah, I was going to say they were pretty even heading into the fight. I think Olberg's slight underdog.
Yeah. No, and I mean, the other thing that frustrated me with that fight is the way Yuri carried himself afterwards. I do understand that he pointed to the mat when he first noticed Olberg had done his knee, so it was almost like, let's see what you can do standing.
Let's just throw.
But then that lasted about 10 seconds, and then he was peppering Olberg's back leg.
Yeah.
So Carlos, right at the end of the first round, saw the opportunity. Yuri might have relaxed a touch, thinking that not like in a mercy way, but thinking he's going to be able to get this done a lot more easily. And then as the left hook came out,
the
signature left hook for Carlos Olberg. And I was glad. I was worried that he might have got the knockdown but didn't finish him off because Yuri was still there. He was present, I suppose, and what was going on, but then he was able to finish off.
Do we know what the word is on Olberg's injury?
No, it's been reasonably quiet.
Because
a lot of the Twitter doctors said from what they've seen,
Twitter doctors,
it looks like an ACL.
So tell me, it's got to be adrenaline, because if you've done your ACL and you're still there fighting, you've got your left hook. So then, like, he bursts onto Yuri and comes down off the hammer fist, and then he's limping around. He's obviously in pain, but he's moving around. After the fight, he was out. It looks like he was out partying in Miami as well. Probably not to the extent where he would have liked to because of the injury, but he's out moving around. So
he walked from the ring back to his locker room.
I mean, that's a warrior too. Like,
I don't know what. I mean, ACLs, you see players in sport do them all the time, and quite a lot of them are able to walk off at their own power, and you think, oh, it might not be too bad.
Yeah,
but, it does tend to be a long-term injury. Whether it is or not, I suppose that's speculation.
I absolutely hate the fact that Yuri is running with this narrative that he showed mercy. I think Dana or Joe Rogan said it in the press conference, or like after the fight. They were like, I wonder if Yuri showed mercy when he saw the injury. And I feel like Yuri's just jumped on that and ran with it. He goes, I'm a man of honor. It's the biggest mistake in my life. I shouldn't have showed mercy. I had the fight there and I didn't take it. I learned from it, yada, yada, yada. Like you said, he pointed at the mat 10 seconds, threw hands for a little bit, but then started peppering his legs. And I've read a lot of UFC comments over the last couple of days, and plenty of Yuri fans are out there going, oh, he's a man of honor. He didn't want to win a fight like that. He didn't want to do it this way. Bros are forgetting that he was peppering the leg. Yeah. He was kicking the injury.
Yeah.
And he just made a mistake. He walked right into Olberg's left hook.
And that was literally the only thing he couldn't do. That was the one thing that would have lost him that fight, and the way that Olberg was. But
Yuri fans are precious, man. And like Olberg was getting booed in Miami on the Friday press conference or Saturday press conference. I reckon he's got a lot of fans now, but I also think he's made a lot of enemies in Yuri's fans too.
Yeah.
But if the whole of New Zealand isn't backing Olberg like they did with Izzy, man.
Yeah. No. So we've got to hear a lot more about Carlos Olberg in mainstream media. But yeah, awesome win. A second New Zealand UFC champion.
What with Izzy? Dan Hooker, has he won one? I know Kai fell short in his.
Was he ever anyone in the early days?
Yeah, let me quickly check. So we have Robert Whittaker, but he kind of fights.
He goes under the Australian.
He's Aussie. He's Aussie NZ, but great for CKB.
Yeah, they just keep
winning in Miami, man. And also Navajo was there. He looked like he had a great night with Olberg, trained with him. So that's going to be aspiring for Nav. Yeah, big time. Yeah. Big time.
Righto.
We'll move on, eh? Well done, Carlos Olberg. That is unreal. Made for a busy day on Sunday, though, unfortunately.
Yeah.
Wow. So we actually had to cancel our UFC watch party on the Sunday because of a storm that was meant to hit Auckland. The Waz stopped it, though. The Waz stopped the storm.
So the Waz were on a 2-game skid.
Yep.
Pretty upsetting in the way that it was occurring. It was just the old Waz coming back now. But one name I do want to take my hat off to is Chanel Harris-Davida. I've kind of gone around talking to other Waz fans around the office and just in general, and I've been describing him kind of as the pulse of the team.
Yeah.
I feel as though the way that he plays, even though he might not be the most mercurial talent, whether it's breaking lines and stuff like that, the effort he puts in tends to lift the rest of the team, I feel.
Yep.
And as you saw that shot on, was it King? Who was it? The storm forward. He put on a huge shot, and that just started this massive barrage of the Warriors' defence holding out against the storm.
I saw that RTS tackle on Will Warbrick. That was huge as well. But I mean, you're already up, 30-something to 18 at that point. But still a massive moment.
I mean, you've seen Warriors, they threw a 2-score game just about last 2 years ago to the Storm with 2 minutes to go. So I think Chanel Harris-Davida deserves a lot of credit. I would doubt you can drop him out of the 6 jersey.
No.
I think he's the only natural 6. Whereas the other 2 are probably 7.
So what do you do when Luke Metcalf comes back? Because he's played 2 games. They've lost 2 games.
Yeah, but I think that's where the Chanel thing's so important, that your two best half combinations both include Chanel.
Yeah.
Just because of the fit, I suppose, or the way it works.
Because of how he molds with the team and his leadership in terms of...
And what he lets the other halves do in terms of just be ball dominant on attack, kick, and focus on those jobs, whereas Chanel's going to put on massive shots, carry hard, take on the line, and take some of those kicking responsibilities if needed. But, yeah, I think Chanel 6, and you pay Luke Metcalf what he earns, and you're not going to leave him on the bench, I don't think.
Yeah, so Tanner Boyd takes a seat.
I would assume.
When is Metcalf back? Because he's done his hammy again, hasn't he?
Yeah.
I mean, it's good problems to have for the Warriors, tough problems to have, but also, like, if Metcalf comes back in and they don't get a win under their belt right away, fans are going to be wanting. Tanner Boyd back in, Luke Metcalf, I'm just looking at NRL casualty ward, hamstring, TBC still.
So Tanner's still got a while, but I just think there's a reason Metcalf was given the size of deal he was. Yeah.
We do have the likes of Kurt Catewell, and he's back in the 12 jersey, and then we've got Mitch Barnett.
Well, the big question now is that you've got the likes of, if Barnett's healthy...
He's in the 23, so...
Chansey could come back, where does he fit in? But when Mitch Barnett comes back, what do you do with the likes of Dimitrik, who was scintillating off the bench last week, had 130 or 40 carry meters in 40 minutes?
Yeah.
Do you drop Niokore all the way out of the team and have Barnett come in as a 13 replacement?
It's tough problems for Webby, man. And I'm glad it's not my decision to make, it's Webby's.
Regardless, they beat the Storm for the first time in ages.
Huge.
The Storm might not be the Storm that, we all grew up remembering.
I'd imagine they still are. Something's just not right there. And I wonder, the Storm always going to be the Storm. I don't think there's any doubt about that. But they are an uncharacteristic start this year. It's almost like the Panthers' start to the season last year. Yeah. I don't think you can't really count the Storm out, if I'm honest.
Not. But yeah, I think the Warriors, 1, is a great performance. 2, they've caught the Storm at the right time to break their record.
Yeah, 100%. I saw something about the last time when they did beat the Storm over in Melbourne. It was a waxing moon. And then when they played on the Friday or Saturday just gone, it was also a waxing moon, the first time since
Interesting.
They've played there, and then they've had the same moon shape. So I don't know if there's any
correlation.
What are they called? The people that love the star signs and everything?
Star sign lovers.
Yeah, star sign lovers and, all that sort of jazz. If the moon plays into the Wars beating the Storm.
Wow.
One more for us then in the world of sport news. Moana sound like they're leaving Super Rugby, unfortunately. I mean, it's a tough one for the franchise, the fans, everyone involved. What are your thoughts on it?
Yeah, I mean, they've been getting battered around. There's obviously Archie leaving to go play in Japan. He was the big ticket item that brought fans to the stadium. They don't get any fans to come anymore. They're getting 50 or 60 shipped on them most weeks.
Yeah.
Their legendary head coach is off to the All Blacks and Tana. So, I don't know, there's just a lot that's gone that was the X factor of that side last year that made the playoffs.
It's hard. They haven't been dealt the best hand either. Like, they keep getting their games shut down in the Pacific as well. It would be very cool for them to go and be able to do that, but it doesn't look like it's going to be able to happen.
No, I think the one that people are shouting for is The Rock to come. A welcome to Wrexham type thing for The Rock. Put it on Disney or put it on Prime. Get him. Obviously, he's got ties to the islands.
Yeah. I'm not saying that, but that'd be sick.
So The Rock comes in. It's 10 to 12 million a year reportedly is the cost that needs to get picked up to save them.
Yeah.
The Rock's obviously got a huge net worth.
Yeah, I'm pulling that up right now. The Rock's net worth is anywhere from, it could be up to 800 million.
Yeah, so apparently pennies on the dollar for him.
So he could run Moana Pasifika for a wee while.
Yeah, and I mean, you saw what happened with Wrexham. Eyes get on them from overseas.
Yeah.
People just because of who the owners are.
Yep.
There'll be more money to bring in. And
we should start that petition. Get Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson over here to buy out. What is it? Buying out? How does it work? Take ownership of Moana Pasifika, and then get a Netflix on board, get a Disney and Amazon Prime.
And obviously, he's got enough money. He could build up some infrastructure in terms of a stadium over there.
Oh, this is brilliant.
The Rock, he's the answer.
I love that. So he needs a business partner then, because Ryan Reynolds, and then you've got
Rob McElhenney.
Yeah, so who's The Rock's business partner on this?
The Rock. You'd want someone potentially with some rugby heritage.
Yeah. Business savvy.
What about someone like Michael Jones?
Oh, yeah. Do The Rock and Michael Jones have a relationship?
Michael Jones, I don't know, but he was obviously a former superstar of the game. Pacific Island heritage.
You need someone that
has been involved with the admin around, I think, Moana potentially around the start.
Okay.
Savvy.
I reckon he gets Jason Momoa on board
as the other celebrity.
Yeah. So your two guys, and they do like what McElhenney and Reynolds did. You're just two big names. You don't have a lot of ties to the actual sport, but you get Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson there, Jason Momoa in there, who are both going to be passionate about the culture that the club brings. And then you hire underneath you, and you hire in the right people. You could get Michael Jones in there. You could get these, business savvy franchise rugby kind of hero people in there. Get them all involved, and then we're away laughing.
Yeah, no, absolutely. I think it's an interesting idea that's probably 1 in a million chance of happening. But
who would have thought the Welcome to Wrexham got to where it's got?
Let's see if The Rock can save Moana Pasifika.
Calling out for The Rock. So you wanted to what? Okay, let's say The Rock doesn't come in.
Yeah.
And can't pull them out of the fire. There's got obviously some stud players at Moana that are going to be out of the team.
Yeah, mainly headlined their loose forwards. You've got Miracle Whailangi, who's plays for Samoa internationally.
Yep.
Mid-20s, plays for the Magpies and Mitre 10, but also the captain now. Has been dominant as an individual. Samisi Tupo Tailioa, number 8, dominant as well, both years in Super Rugby.
Yep.
Southland is where he plays for an NPC. And then the other obvious name is, you'd expect Archie needs to be home next year in a World Cup year.
Yeah.
Preparing for the World Cup.
You can't go back-to-back sabbaticals, can you?
Well, I don't know. I mean, he's kind of... He seems to...
He runs his own race, old Archie.
I mean, he's the best player in the world. He kind of... Entering this new modern age of rugby, he's kind of trailblazed in a lot of different things. So I wouldn't put it past him, but you'd assume he has to be at home to play Super Rugby. So those 3 names, I'd be interested to see where they go.
Yeah, so I was looking into this because I think if we really want to strengthen the competition as well, it'd be great if some of them could go over and play in Aussie, but then they can't represent the ABs because they need to be New Zealand franchise contracted. But that's where those sabbaticals come in play. So I thought, imagine if you go and get Archie to go play for the Western Force. A lot of Kiwis are heading over to Perth at the moment. You'd have a good Kiwi contingent getting behind Archie at the Western Force. You pair him with Carlo Tizzano in the 8, Archie in the 7 jersey. Woof. Could really light up that loose 4-pack over there. Zach Lomax too. That could be a scary looking team.
George Bridge.
Yeah.
I think a former teammate of Archie for the All Blacks. There's a connection there.
True. Is Leon over?
Yeah,
at the Western Force too still?
Leon McDonald. And chances are that obviously Archie wasn't the biggest fan of Razor. You'd assume Leon probably wasn't based on his early exit. They might have
just speculation here. Speculation.
Yeah, they might have something in common to
bond over. But if Archie can work out a way to go on back-to-back sabbaticals, well, it's kind of a half sabbatical, right? Because he's playing Super Rugby, but for an Australian franchise. Does that diminish what he's done for New Zealand rugby if he's playing for an Australian franchise? I don't know, not really. I would like to see him go and help out. Like he did with Moana, he helped build them up. Go to Western Force, go west coast of Australia. Like I said, everyone's kind of loving it over there. I know a few people that's moved over there recently.
Could he do the same for the Drua?
Potentially. Was that your suggestion?
No, my suggestion was bring him back home to the Canes.
Wow, that's number 1 option.
That's the top option. I mean, you have a loose forward. What's not a trio, there's 5 of them. There's a loose group of 5 loose forwards there of Peter Larkai, Duplessis Creefy, Archie, Braden Yosse and Devon Flanders. That could be your All Blacks loose forward for a World Cup. So bring him back.
Would you almost bring him back? You keep some of your loosies, but then you play Archie at like centre or something.
It's just throw him around. So
Yeah, just utility.
But would the Canes want to bring in a player of that magnitude if they say they go on to win? Would they want to, sometimes...
I mean, you wouldn't say
Ronaldo
no, right?
back to United that time. And
I'll tell you where I wouldn't want him to go. I couldn't see him in Crusaders colours. I couldn't see him in Highlanders colours. Or the Chiefs.
I could see Blues, though.
Blues. He could pull like a Bowden and go from Wellington up to Auckland.
Yeah, I mean, that makes sense. Dalton Papali'i will be gone. 7 jersey. Regardless.
Still wouldn't be
so there's
right.
options there for Artie. And the top two, for you, the Western Force, and for me, the Canes.
Yeah, the Force would be great. That'd be sick.
Smesi Tupou Tailioa, young fella. The obvious answer for me was going down to the Highlanders.
Yeah.
I mean, the plays as NPC footy
He's
in
already down there
Southland.
with the Stags.
They got a good loose forward trio, but I don't know if anyone could keep him out of the 8 jersey. Sean Withy's obviously good, but is he more of a 7? Lucas Casey's young, but is he better? I don't know. But Smesi brings a different kind of bruising ball carrier profile to that team that they don't have.
Yeah.
And then Miracle Whailangi. It's interesting. He could go play for any Super Rugby team, I would say. But obviously, Samoa International, he might not be worried about.
He's got to have aspirations to play.
He could. He's 26 now.
Yeah.
Could this be his last World Cup opportunity to do so?
How old's Karifi?
27 or 28.
Oh, is he? I thought he was a bit older.
But is he at the perfect age to go play in Europe?
Oh, I hear what you're saying. Go play for like
he's
or something.
He's now high profile. He's by far and away the best player in that Moana team. He's looked at as not a superstar, but an extremely good rugby player. Plays internationally for Samoa. Dominated the NPC. At 26, could he go earn a load of money?
Who was it that was Charles Piutau?
Yeah.
He went over like at the peak of his career. Did he go to Japan or France? I think he went to France, right? And just got bag loads of money. So you're saying Miracle may, if he's not got aspirations to play for the ABs, go do the same?
Because he'll be able to keep playing for Samoa. He'll be at the World Cup with them, but he could go either Japan or Europe, go in, whatever it is, close to him.
Where would you go nowadays? Would you go to Japan or would you still go to Europe, play top 14, that sort of jazz? I feel like you got to go to Europe first and go Japan in the twilight years.
Yeah, I mean, either way, there's going to be loads of money there. He's going to be more than good enough to start for most teams. So that's what I'd be doing if I was Miracle, I'd say.
I didn't even consider that, but it's a shout, I reckon. All right, we'll take a break there and we'll be back for the group chat game of the week, which it looks like we're going to be showing Super Rugby some love still with that. So we will be back in just a moment. Okay, so I told you the odds yesterday, Archie, and I got the action out of here. So Chiefs $1.67 at home versus the Canes, who are the best team in the comp, paying $2.15 to win. The total set at 53.5. Line a lot closer than what those odds may suggest. It's only -1.5.
Yeah, I couldn't understand it, but then from what I think is that the Hurricanes have done this thing where they play attacking footy, and then the wheels do fall off at some stage.
Okay.
Whether that's this team feels different. They've been shipping 40 and 50 on some teams. Like the Reds, they shipped 50 on them, and the Reds go and beat the Crusaders.
Yeah. Reds meant to be the strongest
the Blues
Aussie team.
Destroy the Crusaders in Auckland, and then the Hurricanes barely break a sweat and beat the Blues. I mean, they've just been outright dominant, and I think it would be bizarre for them to not be a favourite until proven otherwise with this iteration of the Hurricanes.
So I went and spoke to the bookies about it, actually. They just said if it was flipped, if the Hurricanes were at home, Chiefs away, it would be like $1.30 to $3.
It's a home field advantage with that much.
I guess so.
Super Rugby. I don't see it, personally. Is the weather conditions going to come into play? But then again, the Blues are the kingpins of New Zealand rugby of playing dominant physical rugby.
Chief.
No, the Blues.
Oh, right.
And everyone's like, a fight of styles between the Hurricanes and Blues last week. And the Canes, muscle up. They dominated them up front. They beat them at scrum time in the collisions.
What's been the narrative around the Hurricanes is when are the wheels going to fall off? If you can hold your structure against them, the Canes almost become their own worst enemy. But they keep proving week in, week out that they are not that team at the moment. I'm going to touch some wood because.
Yeah. And I mean, were they too razzle dazzle? Was the other comment like, are they too?
Can they be too razzle dazzle?
No, absolutely not. And you see the Six Nations show that, but that's another conversation. But then, when it came to knuckling down against a team that builds through their forward pack way more than any other side in the competition in the Blues, they blew them off the ball.
Yeah.
So.
Give me the Canes, baby.
Yeah, I mean, 215.
Give me the
ridiculous.
Canes.
I mean.
We'll get into our bets later. But like that just screams value.
Yep. Now, Chiefs are playing good footy. Quinn Tapia, Geordie Barrett's a hell of a matchup at 12.
That's where you're eyeing up.
Ruben
what about the Ruben
Love.
Love D-Mac conversation?
D-Mac's been playing good footy, but Ruben Love's the form 10 in the country.
Mm-hmm.
Cam Roygard is the best player on New Zealand shores right now at 9.
Yep.
I don't think that's really a debate.
That ain't an argument.
I mean, just a generational
Pound for pound, the
halfback.
Canes are better.
Yeah, at almost every position.
What position would you not give them?
Right wing, you'd give Narawa over Morby.
Yep.
You'd take Harkin at fullback. I'd take Geordie over Quinn at 12.
Well, I know you would, because in your halfway team of the season, you're Geordie and over Quinn.
Billy, centre, easy money. 8, Peter Larkhire's the best 8 in the country.
Yeah. So there's not a lot.
Devon Flanders has been the best 6.
Yeah.
Maybe locks, you'd take both locks.
From the Chiefs.
Yeah, but Warner Dearns might have something to say there.
He probably would, actually.
Samasoni over Safo, but even that's splitting hairs. I mean, I'd still take Samasoni.
Yeah.
But yeah, the Canes, better team, more depth, play the better brand. I mean, the Chiefs could obviously upset them in my mind.
Well, they're all 67 favourites. Is it an upset?
But in my position, I would be stunned if the Canes lost.
Yeah.
But if they lost, is this the beginning of...
Yeah, is this the skid that they're going to take off on? Is D-Mac a top 5 Chiefs player of all time now that he's the leading try scorer for the franchise? Is he slipping out of that conversation?
I'd have to look through the list. Brodie Retallick could be up there.
Yeah, would you have Beaver in there? Beaver's got to be in there. He's a co-hero.
Cruden over Beaver, probably.
Oh.
Frudds was the 10 for Rennie, wasn't he?
Yeah.
During those years of winning.
Oh, maybe Beaver's more iconic in the black jersey.
Yeah. Sam Cane.
He's got to be. He's got to
Liam
be up there.
Messon.
Love Liam Messon. Love what he's about.
Who else have they had over the years? Who are their like superstar midfielders?
Oof. I don't know.
Hookers.
What would a Chiefs all-time team be? I don't know here. Not Kansas City Chiefs. Let's see.
Here we go. I've got. Oh, don't do me like this.
The
bloody hero.
I've just clicked on the same thing, bro. Wow. Okay. Let's go through.
Spitavini.
Get Sittavini in there. He is the man.
I think D-Mac's definitely in the question.
I think he's got to be. Oh, has he won a title with them?
I don't know. Was he young in those teams?
If he's not won a title with them, can he be in the top 5? If he has, then I'd say he's in the top 5.
Here we go. Damian McKenzie makes their all-time team as the fullback.
Wow.
Is he more of a legend than Richard Kahui, Sivi Vatu, Brad Weber would have won titles there?
Brad Weber, nah,
Cruden,
he's not top 5.
Kane. Well, he might sneak in, honestly.
Have you got the team there?
Yeah, I mean, you go Retallick for sure.
Mm-hmm.
Messam.
Yeah.
Yeah. Sam Cane.
Yeah.
Yes. Aaron Cruden. Yes, that's 4. But
so then you put
not
in
Sonny Bill, not Kahui, I don't think.
Nah, I don't think you can put Sonny Bill in
I think he's 5.
Yeah, okay. So he does make it.
In.
All right, brilliant. Wow, that was my only question I had for the game of the week, but it'll be interesting to see how this one turns out. We'll get to our bets when we go through the Punters Club stuff. We'll take another break there and in with our little game that you're going to run for us, Archie.
Yep. So we're going to look at a potential New South Wales team, similar to the All Blacks all-time team we did, just purely based off numbers for these players in the 2026 NRL season.
Sweet.
Per game numbers. So you've got the list here.
Yeah, I'm just pulling that list up, actually.
So we went into
I'll tell you
Excel and
what,
pulled out a bit of a spreadsheet.
you haven't done me any favours by... Oh, I guess I can zoom in.
Yeah. I mean,
are you going to put my team together for me then?
Yeah,
so I'll tell you who I'm...
You tell me. So we've got, obviously, props. There's 6 options, and everywhere there's 2 positions.
Yeah, I know what you're
saying.
saying.
What I mean. Okay, so I've put together, based off a bit of research on who the likely squad and wider squad and potential bolters are.
Strictly for New South Wales, correct? So you have to be eligible.
Mm-hmm. And obviously, so there's been some eligibility changes recently. So
yep.
There's some other names that have been brought forward to the table. We'll start with props. You've got players. 6 players there to pick from.
Yeah, going to read the stats out for us.
Okay.
And for the listeners out there.
So player A is 173. This is an average per game.
Yeah, okay.
173 metres gained.
Mm-hmm.
0.67 line breaks. 37.5 tackles.
Mm-hmm.
Half a try a game. And 0 try assists.
Yeah.
Player B, 137 metres gained. 0.2 line breaks a game.
Mm-hmm.
34 tackles a game, 0.2 tries a game, and 0 try assists. Player C, 141.5 metres gained, 0 line breaks, 29 tackles, I'll round up, 0 tries, 0 try assists.
Okay.
Player D, 102 metres gained, 0 line breaks, 23.5 tackles, 0 tries, half a try assist. Player E, 128 metres, 0.2 line breaks, 36 tackles, 0 and 0 in the try and try assist categories. Yep. And last prop there, 158 metres, 1 line break, 32 tackles, 1 try, 0 try assist per game.
Okay, I think looking at it, and obviously there's a lot of numbers there to work through. This is why I've got our spreadsheet here this time. We've learned from the last one. I think you got to go players A and F as your 2 props. I mean, half a try a game, 37.5 tackles, and averaging the most meters gained for player A. Give me that. Mm-hmm. And then you've got player F, who's not far behind in both regards, but also averages a try a game. That's brilliant. It is brilliant. Okay, so you've noted down player A and F for me and the props.
Yep.
Nice. Strong start.
Not bad.
All right, okay. So we'll go to the hookers then.
Yeah. So you got 3 options here. The leader in meters gained is player B.
Yeah.
The leader in line breaks is player B.
Yeah.
The leader in tackles is player C. The leader in tries is player C, and the leader in try assists is player C.
Yeah. So I'll tell you what, if you're listening to this and not watching, get the video on, because we'll have all these stats up here, because there are plenty of numbers being thrown around. So we'll have the stat sheets on the video, so have a wee look. I think looking at this, meters gained, tackles, I'm liking the look of player C, but I feel like it could be a trap. But lock in player C for me for the hookers.
Beautiful.
So now we're picking 2 edge players here?
2 edge players. So the leader in the clubhouse in meters gained is player...
Player D. No, it's player F.
The leader in the clubhouse and line breaks is player E.
Mm-hmm.
The leader for tackles is player E again.
Yeah.
Tries,
tied.
Player E and D.
Yeah.
And try assists, player D.
Player C, I think you'll find. Yeah, 0.5 try assists. So I'm picking 2 edges here. This is tough. I think I just got to look at, I'm thinking ball carriers. I want the forwards in an Origin game to be strong ball carriers, be looking at those meters gained. You're going to have guys out there that are going to be scoring tries across the park. So I'm going to lock in players D and F for my 2 locks.
D.
Just strictly based off meters gained. I think I've got some workhorse tackles in there already. There's some guys who are going to make tackles, so I'm happy with that.
Cool.
1 lock?
1 lock. You've got 3 there to choose from. Leader and meters gained is A. Same with line breaks. Leader and tackles is C. Leader in tries is B, and leader in try assist is back to A.
Yeah, okay. Now, meters gained. Player B, have they just not played enough games this season? Have they been injured a little bit? I do like the look of their tries that they've scored, averaging a try a game. But like I said, if they've not played, they might have only played 3 games. But still, if you're averaging a try a game, I don't hate it. I've got other players in other areas that are going to help carry the ball, make tackles. I think I'll go player B.
Okay. Locked in. Now halves.
Yep, this is important. Got to get this
so
right.
Got 2 halves to pick from 6 names.
Have you given me 6 and 7s here, or like, okay, what if I pick 2 7s?
Well, you're gonna have to play. Well, that's what New South Wales are going to do last year.
Wow. Yeah.
Okay, so meters gained, player A, line breaks, player C, and E.
For what? Line breaks?
Yeah.
C and E, yep.
C and E. And then tackles is player
Yeah.
C. Tries is player E.
Yeah.
Try assist.
Also
Player E. Kick meters, player A.
Okay. Looking at that, you've got your 7s, your A, B, and D, I'd imagine. Your standoffs are C, E, and F. Purely basing that off kicking meters here. I think, do I just pick 2 7s? I think I'm looking at player A and player D, I think. Although player E, I'm liking the look of player E as well, if that try assist, averaging 2.5 try assists a game. Player A is in. Lock in player A. Nah, let's go lock in player E. A and E. For me.
Bang. Okay. Righto. Moving to the centres.
2 again?
2 again. So leader in meters gained is player D. Leaders in line break is also player D. Leader in tackles is player B.
F.
F?
Player F with 15.67
Oh, yes,
tackles.
sorry. Yeah, player F. Leader in tries is player C.
Okay.
Leader in try assist is player B.
If I'm going to go out on a limb here and, sheesh kebab. I didn't see player C averaging 1.2 tries a game. I was thinking player F is Casey McLean, and I feel like I want Casey McLean in there now that he is eligible.
Is that because of what?
Hey? It's because of, I think, the tries. I don't think he's averaging quite a try a game. Oh, no, he is. But he's not scoring a try in each game. I think he's had a double here or there. I mean, Jenkins is scoring plenty of the tries for the Panthers out that side. So, Sheesh. Or is it player D? I don't know, man.
You got 2 centres to pick.
Yeah, I know. Or is McLean getting lots of the try assists for Jenkins and he's player B? Sheesh. Give me player B.
Mm-hmm.
And then I want player... I don't know here. Player F. Player... What did I say? Player C. No, player B and player F. Yeah, give me those 2 centres.
Okay. Centres locked in. 2 wingers.
Yeah.
Leader in meters gained is player D.
Yeah. I feel like player D is going to lead a lot here.
Same with tries and almost try assists.
Yeah, okay, so that's got to be Jenkins. Does Jenkins deserve a spot on this New South Wales team? Stats say probably. Is he going to be as dominant in the origin stage as he is for a star-studded Panthers? Again, this is a decision you don't want to get wrong. But, who's... Okay. Player A is scoring a try a game, over a try a game. But meters gained isn't huge. Is that due to
breaking lines?
I want player A in my team, and then I don't know, man. Do I want Jenkins in there?
Okay.
In your books, does Jenkins deserves to be an Origin player this year?
Right, the hot hand.
Yeah, get him in there, player D. Perfect. This could be balls up if he's not player D.
Yeah. All right, and then fullback, last position.
Yeah.
Meters gain leader.
Yeah.
Oh, no.
Holy heck, what's going on here? It's player B at 211. Is that correct?
Yeah.
You've just got the 0.66 reoccurring going on and a lot of the line breaks, tackles, plenty of reoccurring numbers for player A.
Numbers have gone wrong.
Has it gone wrong?
Yo.
Oh.
Um.
Oh, are all the stats wrong or just
no,
for the fullback?
Just the fullback.
Just for player A or what?
Oh yeah, just for player A.
How far wrong are they? Or are they just
they're right. They've
no.
just got. No,
They've just got all the reoccurring numbers.
I just didn't 2 decimal points.
Yeah.
They're right numbers.
Okay. So leader in the clubhouse for meters gained is player B. Line breaks, also player B. Tackles, player B. No, player A. Tries, player C. Try assist, player C. I think I'm going to take player C here.
Okay.
I like the 1.2 tries a game, 1 try assist, and then 180 meters gained. I mean,
Not bad.
that ain't bad. Talk to me. What's my
All right.
team?
So, from the props to the fullback, your starting props.
Are you going to tell me the options? Tell me who the players were, and then tell me who I've got, I reckon.
Right, so you
So I know who
the
I've missed out
options
on.
were Max King,
Yeah.
Mitch Barnett,
Yeah.
Jackson Ford,
Yeah.
Adam Fanua-Blake,
Yeah.
Payne Haas,
Yeah.
and Terrell May.
Okay.
Who did you want?
I can't remember who I picked. I think Jackson Ford and probably Payne Haas are the 2 you want.
And you got those 2.
Bang! Ew!
All right. Hooker, Epi Coruscant, Reece Robson, or Blake Brayley?
Now, did I take Blake Brayley at player C?
Mhm.
Yeah, I'm not too mad about that, actually.
Edges.
Yeah.
Keon Kolomatangi,
Mm-hmm.
Jacob Preston,
Yeah.
Amoli Olakwatu,
Mm-hmm.
Hudson Young,
Yeah.
Angus Crichton,
Yeah.
and Liam Martin.
Oh, no. Did I take Liam Martin?
You've taken Keon Kolomatangi
Yeah, okay, I'm not terribly mad.
and Hamoli Olakwatu.
Oh, 2 dogs. 2
Now
dogs,
for
although
Punters.
I would have liked Hudson Young in there.
Yeah.
What number was Hudson Young? D.
See.
Oh, yeah, Hudson Young would have been a dog to
Alright,
get in.
lock.
Yep.
You got to add Cam Murray,
Yep.
Isaiah Yo,
Oh,
or Victor Radley.
tell me I picked Isaiah, yo.
You
I
picked
got Victor Radley.
one game this year.
Oh, brilliant stuff. That is fantastic.
All right. And then reading down the list for halves, you picked A and B.
Yeah.
You could have had Luke Metcalf, Jerome Luai, Mitch Moses, Nico Hines, Isaiah Katoa, and Nathan Cleary.
Don't tell me I have Luke Metcalf in there.
Who would you want?
Oh, Qatar and Cleary? Or
And-
Mitch? What, did you say Mitch Moses?
Yeah.
Yeah, Mitch Moses
You
and
got
Cleary.
Jerome Luai
Yeah.
and Nathan Cleary.
Oh, okay. That's not bad. That's a winning combination. That is a winning combination. So Luke Metcalf, I mean, he probably doesn't deserve to be an Origin player because he's not playing.
Yeah.
That's what I'm going to say.
And then centres,
Yeah. Tell me I had
could have
Casey.
had Stephen Crichton,
Yep.
Latrell Mitchell, Casey McLean, Tolu Kohler, Bradman Best, and Katoni Staggs.
Yeah, I want Shrell and McLean.
You got Katoni Staggs and
You're
Casey McLean.
Yeah, I got one of the 2. What one was Latrell?
He was player C. The tries, 1.2 tries.
Oh, ratchet.
Wingers, you
Yep.
could have had Josh Adokar,
Mm-hmm.
Campbell Graham, Tom Jenkins,
Yep.
Mark Nawon,
No, Katinawasi.
Inawasi, Brian To'o,
Yeah.
and Dallin Watini-Zelezniak.
Is he eligible for New South Wales?
Apparently.
What the heck? What?
Who would you want?
Probably To'o and Jenkins. Or Marky Mark.
You got Jenkins and Dallin.
Really? Oh, I mean, go on, Dallin, if you're
Yeah.
eligible. Okay, what if he wasn't eligible? What if what you've read's wrong? What number was
To'o was B, Mark was C.
yeah, and what was Dallin? F.
A.
A. And I took A. Is Dallin scoring it over a try a game? What? Oh, he had a
A couple of
hat-trick
doubles, I
and a
think.
double maybe? Yeah, okay. Talk to me, fullbacks.
Fullback, you could have had Teddy, James Tedesco,
Yeah.
Dylan Edwards, or Tommy Turbo.
Oh, neither of the 3 are really appealing. I mean,
Well, the 3 best New South Wales.
yeah, I
fullbacks.
understand that, but
And you got Tommy Turbo.
oh, probably the last one I would have wanted. Teddy, I wanted Teddy or Dylan Edwards.
Okay.
Out
So
of
to
the-
run back through, Jackson Ford, Payne Haas,
Yeah.
Blake Brayley, Amoli Olakawatu, Keon Kolamatangi, Victor Radley, Nathan Cleary, Jerome Luai, Casey McLean, Tony Staggs, Dallin Waitini-Zalesniak, Tom Jenkins, and Tommy Turbo.
It's not terrible. Put Tommy Turbo, wind the clock back maybe 3 or 4 years, and I'm happy. But
prime Tommy.
Okay. I'm not terribly mad about that. There's winning combinations across the park. Tony Staggs is a rogue one. Is he?
He's been playing good footy, though.
Is he New South Wales?
Yeah.
I think just seeing him in like a Brisbane jersey and then a Dolphins jersey just makes me think Queensland.
Yeah. No, I
think
rogue.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, not a bad side. And we'll get on to this week's punting.
Yeah. Well, straight in. I have no big winners for us this week, unfortunately. Betcha, Punters, pick your game up. Come on. Send us some winners. I did even put up on the story. Send us your Olberg round 1 knockouts, and because there's a Betcha boost, Olberg to win via knockout round 1. $7.
Okay.
Would have thought someone had a good little flutter on it, but didn't get any sent through our big bets channels. So I guess we'll just get into our bets for the weekend. I'm going to kick you off with Canes head to head. We've talked about it.
Yeah.
Screams value, and then a same game multi, which I don't know the odds yet because we don't have try scorers out, but Canes 1 to 12 over the 53.5 total points. Yes, please. Roy Gard anytime a try scorer. He said he's the best player on New Zealand shores at the moment. Before you add Roy Gard in there, pays $5.20. So once you get Roy Gard in there,
it'll probably be about 2.15, 2.30.
Yeah, so I reckon you get around tens maybe for that same game multi.
Yeah, I'd be taking that.
You like it?
Yeah, I think the Chiefs, they're going to score some points like the Blues did last week. But the Canes could obviously sail 40 on them as well. So
yeah. And then I've got 2 more for you. I liked the look of RTS in the centres for the Wars against the Titans. He's paying $2.30 to score, but the bookies have been kind to us this week and given us a super boost. RTS or Keanu Kinney to score at $2.50, so I'll be taking that. And then Jigsaw and the Quokka, baby. $4 every time I've backed Jigsaw. Jigsaw has one.
Yeah, seven-year-old gelding. Oof, I couldn't believe it was 7. That's an old horse.
Give me Jigsaw. What is the Quokka worth? $5 million?
$5 million race.
Over in Perth. Everything's happening in Perth. Artie, get over to the Force.
Yeah, off to the Force, Artie. Yeah, I think Roger played his best game of the season last year. Looked good in centres, defensively and attacking. And then Keanu Kinney, I think, potentially played the best individual performance of the season last week.
Right.
So looking back at it.
He's on your fantasy team, is he?
No, but he did have like almost 100 fantasy points or something.
Jaden Campbell had 89 for me. Brilliant stuff.
So the Titans, they're going to get theirs, and especially their superstar player as well. Whether they win or not, that's remained to be seen.
What are you punting on this weekend?
You've taken my Hurricanes. I was thinking you could throw Fehi in to the multi, try scoring machine.
Absolutely. What if you went 2+ tries combined? Roy Gard and Fehi.
Now you've got some serious EPL on this weekend.
Oh, I didn't even want to mention the EPL, if I'm honest. Scary, squeaky.
Big clash. You got one on Sunday morning, Chelsea versus United, so that's one top 6 clash. Both teams looking for Champions League
footy.
Somehow Chelsea are favourites, even after shipping like 12 goals in their last 3 games or something.
Wow. And I'm guessing Chelsea are at home?
At home at the Bridge. And then City versus Arsenal in the biggest game in the Premier League season.
Oh,
City
man.
$1.85, Arsenal paying $4.
What? Oh, City are at home. So I was looking into this. If City win and then win out for the rest of the season, Arsenal lose and then win out for the rest of the season, be tied on 85 points, come down to goal difference. I thought Arsenal was sitting pretty in goal difference. They're only 3 points clear. You take a loss against City, that then becomes a 1 point gap. So that's a one scoring margin of 1. Yeah. Then it becomes squeaky. What happens if it's tied on goal difference? Do you know?
No.
Goes to head-to-head record.
I must say, you'd think the way that Arsenal played their football and the way that City played their football, you'd think City are going to score more goals down the stretch. You can see City putting 3 and 4 on teams, whereas Arsenal, get away with 2.
So what you're telling me is Arsenal need to get a point out of this game, because if it comes down to goal difference, they aren't winning.
Well, potentially.
So the tied on goal difference goes down to head-to-head record.
Is that what it does?
Yeah.
And that would be 1-1, would it?
No. City have the upper hand because it was a 1-1 draw back at the Emirates. So if City win on the weekend, the title is in their hands.
Let's look at a multi here.
No.
Arsenal or draw at $1.91.
Okay.
I don't know about the result in this one. I think the goals market, to score or assist, I would be taking... It's not out, I don't think, the goal scorer, but Ryan Cherky's been on an absolute tear recently.
Baller.
Is one of the more special players in the Premier League.
Mm-hmm.
He provides a spark that not many others do in world football,
Mm-hmm.
and he doesn't seem to care at all
doesn't.
about what stage he's on. He's just going to try things. Saw against Chelsea, he was up 3-0, just bottle flipping the ball on the sideline. He's Pep's biggest nightmare, but also his biggest weapon. So,
oh yeah, he's just street baller, eh? He's a dog, and I mean, he's Arsenal fans are going to try to give him hell because of what he did in the
juggling,
the Carabao Cup, the juggling in the final. I think that Carabao Cup result plays a lot into this as well. Plenty of demons for Arsenal, but Arteta in his latest press conference, I'm on fire. I believe. I've worked so hard. I've got no fear. Honestly, I thought it was AI at the start, but no.
Empty words all the time. Hey, man.
Okay. Are you putting a Chelsea result in there too, or what?
Chelsea against United. I see that one being a draw, probably.
At the bridge, yeah.
Yeah.
United.
Liam Rose in it.
The other shock of my life when I looked at the table and saw United in the third. Couldn't believe it.
But I mean, the coach of Chelsea just shambolic right now. And then the futures. We'll head over to the last race, the last of the autumn races in the Carnival at Randwick.
Yep.
And the odds are
what do you
now
got for
gone.
Us? Suspended. What race are you looking at?
I was looking at, I believe it's the All Stakes.
Okay.
Where are we talking? Saturday, Randwick.
You know what's big for Arsenal? They have to get through Sporting tomorrow as well. At least they're at home for that.
Oh, yeah.
Champions League. So
Sporting just got their best young player back too.
Arsenal are still paying $1.67 to lift the Premier League title. Man City $2.20. So if you're a big fan of Arsenal choking and Man City winning, like plenty of United fans are apparently, which I can't understand.
It's because the thing about City is that no one knows a City fan, but no one knows a City fan.
Yeah.
So you can't really banter. Like, it's just a nothing if they win.
I also get Arsenal fans online can be pretty punishing. And some of their work is crazy.
I would almost argue City fans are just AI.
They're just
I don't even know if they're real.
Plain.
Like, are they real people?
Mm.
I don't know. But Giga Kick in the all-age stakes G1 race 9 at Randwick this week ran beautifully last time. Would it come second or third behind Jolly Star in that sprint?
What a horse. What a horse, Jolly Star.
What about Autumn Glow? That's what we'll finish on here. Autumn Glow losing the perfect record.
Yeah.
And it was to Sir Delius, who everyone had hyped up in this battle.
Yeah.
Pre-Christmas. But everyone's thought, Sir Delius has fallen off a cliff. Autumn Glow's the best horse in the country.
Yep.
Still probably is the best horse in the country, but got towards the end of the prep. One too many runs. Had every chance in the world, but just it didn't show that turn of foot that we'd seen.
I think they also, like Chris Waller apologised saying didn't get the distance. But then when they look back at the speed, I think in the race where Pride of Jenny was 30 lengths clear, I mean, that seemed to be a bit of an anomaly. Oh, wow.
An anomaly.
of a race. But I think Light Infantryman, who was in the race with Autumn Glow and Sir Delius, would have been just behind Pride of Jenny in that race if they were, overlapped. So the race was actually ran real quick. Plenty saying Autumn Glow didn't get the distance. Turns out she probably did, just wasn't the best horse on the day. So you might get her another go at over 2,000, maybe the Cox Plate.
Yeah. I think hit the paddock, have a spell, and see how she comes back into form in the spring.
Yeah.
But, it's tough to see. You want these superstars to continue being superstars, but, horse racing, it's a fickle game.
Now, I'll tell you what, this is going to be sick, and whether it happens or not, I don't know. But if you go into the futures market and you have a look at June, Royal Ascot, you've got the Royal Ascot Gold Cup in there. You've got the Commonwealth Cup, and then you've got the Queen Elizabeth Jubilee Stakes. Jolie Star and 10 Tyrus at the top of the market there. There were talks of Autumn Glow maybe going over, but I don't think she will now. Jolie Star, 10 Tyrus at Royal Ascot. I might try to get there. I'll tell you what, wear my Cambridge stud hat.
Notorious, man. I don't know about it.
Jolly Star all the way.
Yeah, Jolly Star. I mean, way more quality horse. Notorious, obviously a 3-year-old. We were saying the other week we don't even know if it races ever again.
Well, you'd hate to be putting on a futures bet on Notorious then. Holy. I guess we'll wrap it up there. We're going on. You're on a 2-month hiatus. 2-week break. No, 2-week break for the podcast. I'll be back with Courtney and Goran on, when is it? Back in May.
Yep.
Okay, so 6th of May, the group chat will be back. And then from the 17th of June, wow, that's a long time away, Archie will be back as well.
I will return.
There we go. All right, well, thank you for listening. That is all we've got. If you're going to have a punt this weekend, punt responsibly, have some fun with it. Up the Canes, baby.
Up the Canes and up Giga Kick.
Yeah, true. Up Giga Kick, baby. Let's go.